I'm Terry from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm with Women Against Military Madness, and I'm in Cuba interviewing Aimee. Thanks for agreeing to the interview, Aimee.
Thank you.
The people of the U.S. are told over and over that Castro is a dictator and that the Cuban government is repressive. How would you respond to that?
Okay, first of all, you have to take into account Cuban history. And if you go over it, you will find out that every decision that was made during that revolution was made based on what the people wanted to. So, out loud, what the people wanted to. So, in my opinion, we don't live in a dictatorship, and the government is not repressive. Of course, we have many things that probably you are scared of or you don't understand. And I totally understand that because we live in different systems. And, it's like say that U.S. Government has always been wanted to, against Cuba and has always wanted to have a part of Cuba completely. And that is easily noticed throughout your history as well, because we are a part of your history and you are part of our history. So to answer your question, I don't think we live in a dictatorship, and Fidel Castro is not a dictator.
Okay, here, cut for a minute, Annie. Do you have elections in Cuba?
Yes, we do have elections every 5 years and every 2.5 years, which are different elections.
Who do you elect then?
Our system could be very complicated in terms of what you have, but probably is almost the same. First of all, we elect the people in the grassroots level. So we elect people from our neighborhoods. Then they go to the municipality, people elect. Then in the municipality, the people who are going to go to the provincial level, and then to the national level. And we have the National Assembly in Cuba, which is composed of around 615 people, more or less, and which are the representatives of each of one of the municipalities we have in Cuba. And they are going to elect then our parliaments and our Council of States, and then the President of Cuba.
Now, does the parliament really have power in Cuba, or how much of the power resides in Raul?
The parliament does have power in Cuba. We have the General Assembly gathers twice a year, one time in July, one time in December. But it's only with the approval of the General Assembly and the Parliament where laws are passed, bills, everything. So it's the people saying yes, and we first of all we discuss the laws with the people in terms of whatever. But then let's say this new law that is about the retirement age. First, it was even with us. I was student when it was being passed. So we gathered in each of the classrooms. They taught us about, okay, this is happening in Cuba. We're getting old, so we need more people working, and all the reasons why we're getting old. Women are. We are having more opportunities now. So we can go to schools, we can be whatever, we can have any position as men do. So we are kind of, putting away just a little bit our maternity as women.
Yeah.
And then this is happening in Cuba now.
So there's a lower birth rate.
Yes. And then by the year 2025, more or less, the working people in Cuba is going to be the half of nowadays. That's why we're raising the age of retirement. That was discussed with the students as well, because we're going to be the next workers.
So we have to
we have to approve it. And then it went level by level till it got to parliament and to the General Assembly. The National Assembly, sorry. I'm talking about the General Assembly like the UN. Is the National Assembly. And they approved it.
So how many years did it take of discussion to change the retirement
It
age?
took only less than 1 year.
1 year, okay. But it was discussed at the local,
Yes.
by students and the...
And even the unions, the students, the unions, then the ministries, and then the national level.
So it wasn't something that Raul Castro said, now we're changing the age of retirement?
No, not exactly, not like that. And all the reasons why we need to change this were exposed. It's not because I want to, it's because we need that.
Yes, yes, that makes a lot of sense. What is the effect of the blockade on the Cuban people? It's been almost 50 years now of the blockade, and especially on the Cuban women.
I would say that I know so many people who blame that everything that happens in Cuba has to do with the blockade, which is not like that. But many things do have to do actually with the blockade. For instance, I'm a volunteer in the Cuban AIDS campaign, and we are trying to implement now the quick tests on HIV.
Yeah.
And we had to buy those tests in Germany. It would cost half in the States, but we couldn't buy those tests in the States because of the blockade. So this is just an instance of whatever the blockade is causing to us. Another reason is that we are less than 100 miles away from each other, and you have the trade would be easier, and we would have many more possibilities. Another thing is that Cuba, we cannot have credits on any banks in the world, so we cannot deal with American currency. We can't. So dollars, US dollars are not allowed for Cuban enterprises or any businesses to buy whatever we need here. So this is one of the most terrible things we're facing now. We have no credits. We have to actually give the money in advance, whatever, because the countries are not. They have no confidence in us. So that is how it works. And then we cannot buy anything from anywhere if one of the things, like a little device has American money.
If it's been produced with American money, you can't buy. If it's a TV, or if it's a TV or a car or a piece of equipment, if any one component is American made, then Cuba cannot buy that.
Cuba cannot buy that.